Hello and welcome to an Not So Awesome review. And today we're looking at the Super Mario Bros. Movie Super Mario action figure by Jakks Pacific. So we all knew it was coming, Mario figures from the movie, but honestly I was not expecting what we got at all, honestly. I was thinking we were going to be getting something kind of like we got with the Sonic line and something very familiar to what they do with their other Mario figures, which, you know, they're not bad. I've always been kind of back and forward in getting them. I've gotten a couple here and there, not as much as I would like, and getting this one, I'm kind of like, I'm surprised. First of all, the price tag on this thing is $20, which is $10 more than what I wanted to pay for any Mario figure by Jakks. But after getting it, it's still a little bit more than what I want to pay for any Mario figure from Jakks, but I can see why it's more money, but we'll get into it. But first of all, this figure does stand about 5 inches tall, which is notably bigger than the regular Mario line. Here I have the Mario with the Star Power, which I think is the only Mario from Jakks I actually own because I have the Figuarts one. You can see here the size difference. The regular mainline Mario video game figures, I guess, whatever you want to call them now, are just under 4 inches, while this guy is just about 5 inches tall. You can see the size difference. You can even, I guess, kind of call it 1/12 scale. Mario is short, technically, so if you put him next to a 1/12 scale action figure from the US, you can see he's not too far off from the Lightning Collection Red Ranger. Yeah, just want to get the size comparisons out of the way first, I guess. But again, it's honestly not bad. I can see some of the upgrades they've done on this figure. They're definitely trying, and there's room for improvement. Again, we'll get to that in a second. But I am happy with how it's kind of going. Again, room for improvement. You can see here he is next to the SH Figuarts Mario, which honestly, it's hard to even say that, you know, this one is a superior Mario over this one, because they both do very much the same things, you know, when it comes to articulation. Again, we'll see that soon. If anything, he does a little bit more than him, funny enough, but there's that. When it comes to articulation between that one and this one, yeah, the $20, you can see where they spent it. You can see how much better the, you know, moving ones are. And it's nice to see that they are putting in some effort. Again, could be better. We'll get into that. But first, to just round off the size comparison, since I guess I started off kind of backwards for once. But here he is next to one of the Sonic movie figures, which, disappointment number one, Sonic should be about the same height as Mario, at least when it comes to video game appearances. I don't know, I saw something showing that Mario should be taller than Sonic. Again, Sonic from the movies is shorter. I don't know, I'm just used to them being the same height. But again, this is the movie stuff, so you can see here size differences. It's not horribly out of scale from each other, but yeah, I kind of wish he was a bit bigger. Sonic anyway, or I guess Mario was smaller, I don't know. And going on with that, you can see here he is next to the new Link, and again, Link should be a bit taller if I'm remembering correctly. It doesn't look bad when you have them side by side, obviously two very different art styles, but I think to have it accurate, if you want to be like that much of a stickler for it, then yeah, Link should be taller, which I want to say the Figuarts, not the Figuart, the Figma Link is probably taller than this one, so maybe it's not too far off if you did that. Though I would love to see Jakks kind of bring this into that, you know, the more expensive line. Do a Link like that, and I'd be very happy to see like what they would come up with. Before we completely wrap this up, here he is next to a couple Goombas, and yeah, I think that works perfectly fine. I have a Koopa Troopa, but I don't know where he is. Otherwise, I do a size comparison, but I'm sure it's going to be smaller than him. And I'm sure we're probably going to get a few in this line eventually. So yeah, anyways, let's get on with the figure. I feel like I'm already out of breath here, but the figure itself looks amazing. Let's just go through the aesthetics where the molding on him is just perfect. He has two-tone colors on the shoes. The blue on his overalls is great. The gold on the buttons came out really nice. His face, the skin tone, is honestly really, really good. Like I mentioned, compared to the Link figure, who's a little bit shiny, a little bit glossy, and I think that's the way it is with all the other kind of cheaper $10 figures from Jakks. This one has more of that, you know, matted premium look, and I really appreciate that. I think it looks really nice. Even the nose has like a slight kind of pinkish, reddish tint to it. It's very slight, but you can definitely see it under the lights. You can see the creases of his hat on the very top. His hair looks really good. The gloves look good. He has little creases going through his sleeves. Just the molding on him is really, really nice. He even has the treads on his shoes. And the interesting thing about this figure is that the eyes do follow you around. At first, when I was looking at the promotional photos and I noticed this, I thought, well, maybe the eyes have a gimmick where you move them. But no, if you just turn the figure slightly, you can see whatever tomfoolery they got going in there, it makes it look like the eyes are facing you. So it's funny because I'm standing off to the side right now and the eyes are facing me perfectly. But if I look over to the camera, the eyes are facing over there. It's crazy. I love it. Part of me wishes it wasn't completely like that because the eyes, I'm not going to lie, in the promotional shots, they look a little bit freaky. They look a little bit weird. They're calling them realistic eyes and everything. So much better in person. Just putting it out there that if like the promotional images make you think, that looks a little uncanny valley. Is that the word? Yeah, it's a little bit too, out there. In person, honestly, it looks really cool. And like I said, they kind of just follow you around any direction. Now, as cool as that is, I feel like it's going to interfere with like some toy photography and stuff because you're going to want him facing Bowser, but he's going to be looking at the camera the whole time, breaking that one rule when you're like, doing like videos or whatever. You're not supposed to look directly at the lens. Yeah, he's going to always be looking directly at the lens. Unless maybe if I turn him all the way, maybe. But yeah, even if you lift him up, which is a little bit harder to see, but down, he even looks down. So don't know what they did there. Don't know what magic's going on there. It's awesome. I like it. The eyes on him, Peach, Luigi, and probably Toad. I didn't pick up Toad. He's the only one I didn't get. But all of them have it. Looks cool. Bowser's the only one who's kind of missing it, but I'm okay with that. But we'll get to him in another video. Anyways, accessory-wise, he does come with a plunger, and the plunger is alright. It has a little bit of kind of wood texture going on there. Just very slight. But it's there, at least I think it is. Something's there. It's definitely noticeable. Bottom of it isn't a plunger. I kind of wish it was like a little, suction cup. That would have been cool, but it's fine. It's cool. It is where it is. He can hold it in his hand like you guys just saw right there. No mushroom, no question mark block, just a plunger, which he's a plumber. So yeah, I'm okay with it. Anyways, moving that off to the side, we are going to look at the articulation where this is what I'm saying. Okay, so articulation isn't bad. It's actually really good. Like I said, in some ways, kind of better than the Figuarts figures. In other ways, it's still limited for a $20 figure. Usually when I talk about Jakks figures, it's funny because I'll hold myself back and say, no, that sucks or whatever. I'm like, it's a $10 figure. It's really good, especially like the Link and everything. This being a $20 figure, I feel like could be better. And yeah, so head-wise, you can turn left, turn right. Again, the eyes just follow you, which I love it. Head can't really look up, can't really look down, which is disappointing. I know he has a big head, but I do feel like it would have been possible if they added a hinge in there. He could have looked up and down. I feel like there's probably, there's definitely going to be no hinges on this figure. Arms can go up all the way, which is very good. Down, rotate all the way around. We do have a single jointed elbow, which does that much. Again, it's Mario. They don't want to break up the sculpt that too much, but I wish he could at least do 90 degrees. Or had maybe like a type of butterfly joint or something. It's not bad. We have that, and then compare it to what we had with this. It's very similar. I feel like this one could probably go in a little bit more, but his head does get in the way. And then if we get the Figuarts figure, it's very similar, but because of the way they molded this one, you have kind of like a limited range when it comes to this. Like, he definitely could have used butterfly joints. Him, at least you can go outwards and inwards. So again, in a way, better than the Figuarts figure. Rotation at the wrist. Unfortunately, although it is like on a little peg right here, you can't really move it forward and back too much. If it was on a like dumbbell joint or something, or a hinge, you would have gotten more range. Again, it's not too big of a deal because it's Mario, but I do wish we had gotten that. And considering how easy it is to pop that hand off, I do wish we had gotten a pair of fists, like some extra accessories or something. Maybe we'll get Mario. I'm sure we're going to get like different versions of him, firepower and everything. So maybe one of them will have a pair of fists and maybe we'll be able to pop them off and, you know, put them on different ones. We'll see how that goes. He does have a kind of a waist sting. He can't really move back or forward too much, but he can shift left and right, which is already more than what the Figuarts can do, more than what the other Jakks ones can do. And the Nendoroid, if you want to throw that in there, because I forgot I had him off to the side. He's definitely more limited. His arms have to be switched out for running poses and stuff. But yeah, so legs can go forward enough that he can actually pretty much sit down, which I do like that. He does lean back if you do it. There are treads on his feet, by the way. Can go out that much, which again, good. Rotation, there is a upper thigh cut, which is awesome. I love that. Single jointed knee does pretty good. Giant ass, not gonna lie. And then the detail on his shoelaces are really good. But again, it's there. It's not the best articulation. I think it's the same peg we have on the hand. So there is some shifting left and right for a little bit of ankle pivot, but you're not going to be able to get like his ankles like flat on the ground or anything like that. Again, some type of hinge or dumbbell joint would have helped a lot more than the kind of just peg thing right there. But it is what it is. Articulation, again, if this was a $10 figure, I'd be saying, yeah, that's not bad. But because it's a $20 figure, I do have to be a little bit more harsh and say it could be better. Now, it's not horrible. It's not Spartan Collection Wave 1, limbs are falling down, limbs can't stay up, everything is loose. No, this is a very solid figure. You know, Jakks has been around long enough that I would like to think they know what they're doing. Especially, again, I'm going to bring it up again, this Link. If they can reach this level of articulation with him, I feel like they could have done it with this Mario. Maybe this Mario was in production, you know, long before that or something. I'm hoping, like they did with the Sonic movie figures, where they kind of upgraded the body for the second wave and everything. Maybe they'll do something here. I mean, that was more of an aesthetic thing. But if they can just up the articulation just a little bit, I think this would be a perfect Mario figure. Again, he already outperforms the $10 figures, which, you know, he should. Obviously, it's the same company. But he's outperforming the Figuart figures, especially in the arms. The arms in those figures are a lot more limited than what I remember when I was messing with them before. I usually just have one of mine displaying on a shelf. Messing with it earlier this week, thinking about doing a review on that just for fun because, you know, the movie's coming up and everything. I'm realizing, yeah, although it's a cool looking figure, it's very limited. This one, it feels nice because it's more freeing. We can do more poses. And I really, really like that. And I do like that some of the bad guys should be somewhat interchangeable. Again, I'm sure the Koopa Troopers and some of the other, you know, villains and everything are probably going to be a little bit off. Other ones like the Piranha Plant and everything, I'm sure, you know, it's not going to be bad. You'll be able to fit them in with this. And if you have been collecting Mario figures, you've been, you know, just loving the video game line, you're going to have things to kind of throw in there, like the question mark, like the mushroom. That's from the Figuarts one because I don't know where my other stuff is. But you can see what I'm talking about. You can make your own little tubes here like I did. I made those years ago. And you can get yourself a really cool Mario display. I mean, if you look back, Figuarts even had those little kind of packs where you could get the Koopa Trooper and a bunch of other stuff and just have like a cool little display going on. That's what I really like about this. They never stopped making Mario figures, even when World of Nintendo kind of just disappeared. And there's so much stuff out there at somewhat reasonable prices that it's going to make this so much fun for people who were just very much into the Mario figures. I'm definitely going to pick up some more. I'm definitely going to have to find where I have a couple of my other ones so I can get some cool shots and everything. So overall, I think it's a really good figure. I do recommend it, but again, $20. You know, I've been saying it in a lot of my Sonic videos. Hey, Jakks, give me like a $20 version of this figure. Up it a little bit and I will be very happy. They kind of did what I asked them to, so it's really hard for me to complain. Again, I do feel like they could do a little bit more for the price point. I do feel like it's just ever so slightly out of being perfect, but it is definitive, which is very weird to say. But yeah, if they can just upgrade the articulation like they did with this Link, Yeah, it would be the perfect Mario. I can kind of see where there's some limitations with the head and everything like that because of the sculpt work. I do feel like they could have gotten a little bit more movement on the arms. Again, I know it's the sculpting and everything, but just get them up to 90, even though this isn't that bad. I think my biggest complaint is just the fact that the hands and the feet aren't on like actual kind of real ball pegs where they can move around good. They're on these weirder kind of ball pegs where it's in there. It's kind of a mushroom top on the thing. Yeah, it's almost there. Either way, great figure. I do recommend it. Yes, it's a little pricey. I'm wondering how it's going to perform, especially with like parents and stuff, because again, they're probably used to buying the $10 figures for them. Now it's these $20 ones. They might just instead be like, well, I'm going to get you this instead. I don't know. But yeah, just a few more upgrades and it'll be perfect. But yeah, I do recommend them. Definitely if you're a Mario fan, if you are excited, even if you don't care about the movie, if you're mad at Chris Pratt, which I honestly don't care at all, it's a good figure. I like it. That's all I got to say about that. But yeah, check out your local Targets for this one. The easiest way to get it, try store pickup. If you can't order it online, have them scan the barcode. If you just didn't check the thing, it's at the beginning of the video. Or you can wait for Amazon to have them restocked. I will have an Amazon affiliate link in the description down below if you want to check it out. But anyways, that is my review for Mario. I feel like it's a little bit all over the place, not typical of how I usually do this. But I'm tired. My throat is sore for some reason. It's been a long day of Pokemon Go. But yeah, glad to have this and excited to open up Luigi and Peach. Gonna do that probably right after this video. I did open up Bowser. Really excited for him. I will have his review up probably next, just because I have things to talk about with that one. It's good. It's almost great. But like Mario, falls just a little bit short, but still really cool. It's contradicting feelings, kind of like this Mario, but I still recommend it because he's awesome. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Hopefully I didn't ramble on too much, but yeah, stay tuned for more Mario action figures, and the new Sonic wave apparently hit this weekend, and I missed it because all that was left was Sonic, which I went to the other Target today and I didn't even check to see if they were there. That was not a smart move on my end, but yeah, hopefully I find those at some point. I haven't even found Chaos, so I don't, we'll see. Hopefully pick those up at some point, but for now, Mario and maybe some Pokemon stuff, just because I've been feeling Pokemon lately. But anyways, see y'all later. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.